Discipline isn't something you find. It's something you forge in the fires of your deepest commitments. Are you tired of starting strong and falling off? Are you sick of making promises to yourself that you can't keep? The problem isn't that you don't want it enough. The problem is you haven't made discipline non-negotiable in your life. Every morning when that alarm hits, that's your first battle. That's your first victory or your first surrender. Which one will it be today? I need you to understand something. Discipline isn't a feeling, it's a decision. A decision you make every single moment of every single day. Look at the person in the mirror. Look deep into your own eyes. Who are you becoming? Are you moving toward greatness or sliding toward mediocrity? The gap between who you are and who you could be. That's where discipline lives. That's where champions are made. That's where legends begin their journey. Can you commit to the uncomfortable? Life has shown you your weaknesses. You have faced your own excuses 1,000 times. How frustrated are you with your own inconsistency right now? How desperate are you to become the person you know you can be? What are you willing to endure? What comfort are you willing to sacrifice? What pleasure are you willing to delay to get where it is that you need to be? See, everybody wants the results of discipline. Everybody wants the body, the bank account, the business. Everybody wants to be called consistent and reliable, but nobody wants to show up when they're tired. Nobody wants to keep going when it hurts. Nobody wants to choose the harder path when the easy one is right there beckoning with its comfort, with its false promises, with its temporary relief. But that relief is a lie. That comfort is the enemy of your greatness. That easy path leads to a life of regret, a life of what if, a life where you look back and wonder what could have been if you had just stayed disciplined. Can you learn how to say yes to what's difficult? Yes to what's painful? Yes to the daily grind that nobody sees but builds the future everyone will witness? The fake friends, the temporary pleasures, the constant distractions, they're all testing your resolve. Your phone calls to you. Your bed begs you to stay 5 more minutes. Your mind creates excuses that sound reasonable, that sound justified. But they're all lies. Why are you here and what price are you willing to pay? Because the truth of the matter is we have dreams, we have goals, we have a legacy to build, we've got habits to form, we've got character to develop, we've got a life to create. And I'm just wondering if you are willing, if you are determined enough, if you have the grit, if you're stubborn enough to wake up every single day and recommit to your discipline. Discipline is the bridge between who you are and who you want to be. It's the ship that carries you across the ocean of mediocrity to the shores of excellence. It's the light that guides you through the darkness of doubt, of fatigue, of temptation. But you must keep that light burning. You must tend to it daily, hourly, minute by minute. Can you say no to what feels good right now? Just one moment at a time, one decision at a time. Imagine who you could become with unwavering discipline. You got one life to live, rain, sleet, or snow. The world is full of talented failures. People with gifts and abilities who never developed the discipline to make those gifts matter. Is that who you want to be? Another statistic, another could have been, another cautionary tale? Or do you want to be the exception? The one who refused to quit, the one who stayed disciplined when everyone else gave in, the one who chose pain over pleasure because they knew the reward waiting on the other side. The time is now. I got 3 words for you. Make it automatic. Turn your discipline into habits. Build systems that work. Create environments that make success inevitable. The strongest form of discipline isn't willpower. It's creating a life where discipline is the default, not the exception. Look at your environment. Is it helping or hurting your discipline? Look at your phone. Is it a tool for growth or a weapon of distraction? Look at the people around you. Are they elevating your standards or lowering them? Everything around you is either feeding your discipline or eating away at it. There is no neutral ground in this battle. And I know you've failed before, and I know you're doubtful, and I know you're scared, and I know you're tired of starting over, and I know that you've got reasons to quit, and I know you're tempted, and I know you're fighting battles nobody can see. But if you make it automatic, you can win. Pain is temporary. Discipline is permanent. The discomfort fades, but the results remain. Your excuses sound good to you. They sound reasonable. They sound justified. But your excuses don't care about your dreams. Your excuses are not your friends. They're assassins sent to kill your potential. One compromise at a time. One, just this once at a time. One, I'll start tomorrow at a time. You're standing at the crossroads of who you are and who you could become. And the time is now like never before to choose the path of discipline. It takes discipline to face your weaknesses. It takes discipline to keep promises to yourself. It takes discipline to do what's right when nobody's watching. It takes discipline to push through the plateau when results slow down, to become the person you were meant to be. The greatest battles you'll ever fight won't be on any battlefield. They'll be in the quiet moments when no one is watching, when it's just you against your weaker self, when it's just your higher standards against your lower desires. These are the moments that define you. These are the moments where discipline is forged. It takes discipline, and you practice it every day. The first person you need to impress is the one in the mirror. It's you. You can't inspire anybody. You can't lead anybody unless you have mastered yourself on the inside to follow through on what you say you'll do. Your word to yourself is sacred. When you break it, you crack the foundation of your character. When you keep it, you build an unshakable fortress of self-trust. Make it non-negotiable. What you do sometimes is what you'll become never. What you do consistently is who you'll become permanently. Consistency compounds. Small disciplines repeated with stubborn persistence become mountains of achievement that others look up to in awe, wondering how you climbed so high. I need you to stay disciplined. Life has knocked you down before. There are habits you've tried to build and failed, and you survived. But surviving isn't enough anymore, is it? You don't want to just get by. You don't want to just exist. You want to thrive. You want to excel. You want to become a force of nature in this world. And that only happens through discipline, ruthless, relentless, unyielding discipline. Are you hungry enough? Are you fed up enough with your own excuses to go after what it is that you know you can achieve? Are you stubborn enough? Are you relentless enough to stay disciplined not for 30 days, not for 90 days, but forever? Can you embrace the pain now that you live the rest of your life in freedom? Here's the reality. You will always be where you are until you identify the excuses in your life. It is time for you to examine your patterns, dissect your failures. There are comfort zones that are stealing from you everything, stealing your potential, stealing your future, stealing your greatness, reprogramming and reconditioning you to settle for something that you have not been destined to accept. And the time is now to get tied to systems and habits that are going to help to position you and lock you in a place where you can fulfill purpose and destiny. Forever discipline, one day at a time. Imagine if you begin to identify the weaknesses that have not served your purpose, the distractions that have not served your destiny, the lies you've told yourself, the excuses, the justifications, the rationalizations. Can you identify what has kept you average? What has kept you ordinary? What has kept you from greatness? What has kept you hiding behind the veil of someday and maybe and I'll try? Discipline isn't just about what you do. It's about who you become in the process. It's about the person staring back at you in the mirror. It's about the legacy you leave. It's about the example you set. It's about the standard you establish for yourself and everyone watching you. Your future is being written by the small decisions you make today, and there's nothing wrong with being human, with having flaws, with fighting resistance, but you're trying to achieve greatness with habits that don't match your dreams, with discipline that doesn't align with your goals, with efforts that don't reflect your talk, and you're not willing to push through the resistance, to embrace the discomfort, to face the pain behind closed doors. The world doesn't reward perfection. It rewards consistency. It doesn't matter if you mess up. It matters if you get back up. It matters if you recommit to your discipline after you've fallen. The strongest people aren't those who never fail. They're the ones who use failure as fuel for their discipline, who let their mistakes strengthen their resolve, not weaken it. A person is rewarded with freedom for the chains they accept in private. Examine your daily routines. Go through the systems. Go through the pain. Embrace the struggle. Welcome the resistance. The resistance you feel, that voice telling you to quit, to take it easy, to compromise just this once. That's not your enemy. That's your opportunity. That's where growth lives. That's where discipline is born. The harder the resistance pushes against you, the stronger your discipline becomes when you push back. Inhale the difficulty, exhale the excuses. I know it's hard to stay consistent, but it's time for you to cross over because easy got you nowhere. Stay disciplined forever. The difference between where you are and where you want to be is on the other side of that voice in your head that says, I don't feel like it today. It's on the other side of that moment when you want to hit snooze, when you want to skip the workout, when you want to break the diet, when you want to procrastinate on the project. Your entire future hinges on what you do in those moments. Come back and shock yourself with who you become. Who you are today has gotten you as far as you're going to get. If you're going to get any further, you've got to rebuild your habits. And if you're going to rebuild your habits, you've got to embrace discipline forever. You still keep trying to reach your potential while cutting corners, skipping steps, looking for shortcuts. There are no shortcuts to any place worth going. The path to greatness is never shorter than you think. it's always longer. But that's why so few walk it. That's why so few finish it. That's why the reward at the end is so great, because the path to get there required uncommon discipline. You need to reach your potential through consistency, through small wins, ready to become the person that your future self will thank. Be that person today, but first you've got to discipline yourself. You're distracted, you're inconsistent, you're full of untapped potential, and you've even been close to giving up at times. Discipline isn't about perfection, it's about progression. It's not about never falling, it's about always rising. It's about doing a little bit better today than you did yesterday, and a little bit better tomorrow than you did today. That compounding effect of discipline is how ordinary people achieve extraordinary results. You've had false starts. Come on, who am I talking to? I'm talking to that person that's tired of their own excuses, and you are determined enough, you are hungry enough, you are disciplined enough to make this commitment forever. You've thought about it enough. Your discipline or lack of it is speaking so loudly right now that I can't hear what you're saying. Your actions are drowning out your words. Your habits are telling the true story of what you value, what you believe, what you're committed to. What story are your habits telling about you? Is it a story you're proud of? Is it a story worthy of the potential inside you? You've planned it enough. You've researched it enough. You've talked about it enough. Talk is cheap. Plans are worthless without execution. Research means nothing without application. The world doesn't reward knowledge, it rewards action. And disciplined action is the highest form of self-respect. You've dreamed about it enough. Now it's time to put the discipline in. Dreams without discipline are just wishes. Hopes without habits are just fantasies. Goals without systems are just good intentions. Your dreams deserve your discipline. Your potential demands your consistency. Your future is calling for your commitment, not just today, not just when it's convenient, not just when you feel motivated, but every single day for the rest of your life. The question isn't, can you stay disciplined forever? The question is, can you afford not to? Look at the cost of inconsistency in your life so far. Look at the price you've paid for lack of discipline. Look at the dreams that have died, the goals that have faded, the potential that has remained dormant because you couldn't stay disciplined. No more. Starting now. Starting today. One decision at a time. One moment at a time. One day at a time. Stay disciplined forever.